You don't have to be some crazy like 8-figure seller to get ungated in those categories. Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Karina. I hope you are having an amazing day. I just wanted to come on here and tell you guys about gated and ungated categories in Amazon FBA, because a lot of people do product research and they find a product that is in a gated category and then they stress and think that they can't sell it, or they go to those other websites that charge thousands of dollars to get ungated. But I want to tell you guys that you don't always have to spend that type of crazy money on those third-party sites that get you ungated. To be honest, I personally have never used a third-party server to get me ungated from a category, and the reason is that I have got ungated in those like hard categories, like the honest, pure way of Amazon just approving me. And I wanted to let you guys know that you don't have to be some crazy like 8-figure seller that has been selling for like years and years to get ungated in those categories, because I have been ungated in a lot of categories, and I'll tell you what happened to me, my personal experience. And that I was selling in an ungated category in the beginning, and then once you sell for a like good period of time and you have a good history with Amazon, that means like you have good review status and just you are a good seller, right? You're not like weird, and you're not like selling weird things that are getting high return rate and things like that. You just have a good standing with Amazon. Like, they naturally will ungate you in categories that aren't even related to your category. And I thought that was pretty interesting, and I didn't even look into this. The thing is, I am on the phone with Amazon like all the time. Customer service, seller support, like me and them, they're like #1 speed dial. Like every question I ask, I call them, I'm on the phone with them for like hours. But they're super helpful, by the way. So I was selling in one category that had other categories under it, and those other categories, the main category wasn't gated, but the one under it was gated. And I was looking into selling a product in that more restrictive category, and it's actually more beneficial if you can get ungated, because that decreases other people for trying to get in your market, because they would need to be selling on Amazon for a while, or they would need to go to third parties and pay like a few $1,000s to get ungated in that certain category, and that's even a little bit risky to do. So it's just not that many people go that route when they first start out, but it's a good thing to look into down the future. But so I was on the phone with them and I was just asking. So what I do whenever I'm about to launch a product is that I call Amazon and I ask them if there's any restrictions with these ASINs. So for example, if I'm selling like in the baby niche, right, if there's like a blanket or something that is like made out of a special type of bamboo, and I'm not sure, maybe there's restrictions with babies and bamboos, like certain things you think might need a restriction, right? It's just, or like if you're selling something for a pet and it's like, I don't know, it goes on their body or their fur, then you start to wonder. Just things like that, right? Or anything else. Just horrible examples for me again, because I cannot think of good examples. But so I call them and I pull up a few ASINs of a similar product, so just to make sure that I'm covered all my bases, right? So I would take 3 types of different sellers selling the bamboo blanket. I would take the highest selling person who's been around for the longest time. I would find another private labeler who I see has recently launched, to see if they have any limitations. Things like that. I just kind of differentiate myself on the ASINs I want to run, and then I give them the ASINs on the phone, and then right there they tell me if there are any restrictions on them. So sometimes you get a person that tells you to do it yourself and to like go into Amazon and type in the ASIN, but I always tell them, that doesn't happen too often, but I always tell them, like, last time I called, you guys ran these, can you please look into your system? I just want to make sure that there's not anything I'm missing, and then they'll run it for you. So it's actually, I really recommend that everyone does this, because it's really important. You don't want to order product and somehow miss something, or you don't even want to put in the effort of like contacting suppliers and just like reading everything about the product before you find out that actually maybe it's like it has a restriction that you need some kind of paperwork that you can't possibly get. So I always do that before like taking my product to the next level. But anyways, what happened to me was I called and I gave these ASINs, and the first ASIN they ran, they said, oh, actually, yes, this you can't sell, that you need all this paperwork. And I'm like, okay, can you run this ASIN? And then they run the ASIN and they're like, wait, actually, never mind, you're approved. And I'm like, wait, really? I didn't submit any paperwork, I didn't do anything. And they said, well, actually, right, it says that you applied to be approved like 2 minutes ago. So basically it's like an automated thing. So when I called and asked about that category and they ran it into the system, somehow Amazon just automatically approved it, because it's probably an algorithmic thing, and then it sees that I've been selling well and that I'm potentially interested in selling this product, so they kind of automatically just approved me. And usually this category, for someone who's new, it takes like legit paperwork, right? Or like a third-party thing. But I was completely approved for free just by inquiring about this product, which to my surprise, I was pretty thrilled. And I thought that, you know what, maybe because I am in a similar category, this is what works. So X months down the road, I called again asking for approval for a different, completely different like category, right? Not related. And it looked like suspicious that I would probably need some kind of like approval or paperwork for this product. And again, the same situation happened. I called, I ran the ASIN. They said, actually, you need paperwork. I'm like, okay, can you run this ASIN? Literally same exact thing. They run the second ASIN, which, by the way, if you don't know what an ASIN is, it's kind of like the little, it determines what the product is. It's in the top search. It's search bar. It starts with B0 and then a bunch of numbers, and it's just each product has its own ASIN. That's how Amazon knows what product it is. So I gave them the second one, and she ran it, and she said, actually, wait, you're approved to sell in this category now. And I'm like, okay, that's great. And literally the same phone call, another category, because I told you guys I'm like super into product research right now. I'm trying to launch all these different things. I called again, completely different category, same phone call. She said, I'm restricted. Second ASIN I gave, she said, actually, you're approved. So I basically automatically got approved for 2 categories in one phone call without having to literally click anywhere on Amazon or do anything. And that's because of sales history. So if you guys are starting out and if you have all these products in mind that you want to launch, like, you can start from something that's not gated, and it doesn't have to be something that's making like crazy hundreds and thousands of dollars a month. Just be consistent with your product, be a good sales, be like in good standing with Amazon, and anything else after that, they just kind of give you more rights. It's like you have seniority, you're around for a few months, and then you don't need to like go through all the hectic process of like using third parties that are like questionably against TOS and things like that, and put yourself at risk, because Amazon is pretty fair, to be honest. Like, they do a really good job at like really taking care of their sellers, and calling them is probably like one of the most beneficial things I've done, because I have saved myself so much time, energy, money by talking to the people who actually know things. And if they didn't have that hotline, like, things would just take way longer. So I'm super thankful for their calling service that they have, that's literally open 24 hours. I called them on like Christmas. I called them at 2 a.m. I called them from foreign countries over Skype. They like always pick up, which, thank you, Amazon, for being like that. Which, by the way, may I point out, is a lot better service than Facebook has, because Facebook, you have to use an email or like a chat thing, and you can't just call, which is so helpful. Which, totally off topic, but just thought I'd let you guys know how cool that is. But yeah, that's my little personal story on like gated categories. And yeah, so you guys can pretty much sell, I'm sure that there's higher restrictions for like really intense categories like food, if you actually want to sell groceries, but I doubt that any of you guys are going to be private labeling groceries. But it's not as hard as you think it is, because I know it looks hard, like, ooh, something's gated, you can't sell in it, but really, like, yes, you will get approved over time. And then you can just ask what paperwork, and maybe you can even fill in the paperwork and get ungated that way. It's like really not like all the barriers that people say there are to Amazon. If you really look at it and put in like some sort of effort over a few days, like, you can literally surpass those barriers. Like, it's not that difficult. So anyways, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, like always, leave them in the comments, or go to my Instagram and message me on there. I am always available. And yeah, I will see you guys next time.